Bumper off. I gotta take this clip off. What is up, guys? It is a snowy morning here in Edmonton, Alberta. September, I don't even know. September something. Mid-September. Should be warm. I looked at the weather app and it said that the history was plus 30 at some point on this day. And yeah, we woke up to a crappy, snowing hard morning. So I'm in the garage. I'd like to talk a bit about the Supra. As you can see, it's missing the lights in the front bumper. I did that the other day because people really want to start buying the NAT specific stuff. These cars are so expensive and so hard to come by nowadays that people, they're just picking up NAs for dirt cheap and NATing or doing a GTE swap. So that leads me into my next subject is why I'm going with the GTE instead of the NAT. So this setup has been going strong for about 5 to 6 years. I've took the car on lots of rallies. I'm never scared to downshift and give a guy a go or play with friends on the street in Mexico or whatever it may be. I've treated this car like it's supposed to be treated, in my opinion. It's running about just over 400 wheel horsepower in an NA with the W58 and the factory rear end. So that all being said, a lot of guys will run this setup for years with 600-700 horsepower, doing the TT head gasket and a little modifications here and there. So why didn't I just go that route? Well, to be honest with you, I've owned 7 Supras. 6 were right-hand drive. This is my only left-hand drive. And when I seen this car come up for sale, I fire sold my twin turbo 6-speed, beautiful red Supra. And before that, I had a bunch of I had a TT automatic, I had another TT automatic, another TT 6-speed, and the wife and I had a Target Top right-hand drive twin turbo and an NA for her. So we've had a lot of Supras. And I've always wanted a left-hand drive. I don't have anything against right-hand drive. We're looking for another Supra, and we're probably going to buy another right-hand drive automatic TT for her. So I have nothing against right-hand drive. I just always wanted a left-hand drive Supra. Growing up, I've always, in my mind, just as a kid, it's just left-hand drive, right? So as soon as I seen this thing up for sale, I didn't care that it was automatic. It's not automatic, it's 5-speed, but like at the time, I seen it for sale. I'm like, I don't care if this is auto, I don't care if it's NA, I don't care if it doesn't run, I want it. So I fire sold my twin turbo 6-speed for way too cheap. Way too cheap. Just to get a hold of this thing. So I bought this thing, and at the time, I'm like, yeah, in a year, this is going to be 1,000 horsepower, GTE, everything. I was still in university at the time, so I had high hopes. Now that I can, 6 years down the road, basically, I just wanted to have fun with the car. I wanted to drive it. I wanted to experience the Target Top. I wanted to do everything with the car that I could. So I did that. 6 years later, I'm out of university and I can finally afford to do everything right. And that was my main concern is at first I was going to put the GTE in and not do this, not do that, wait. And I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to buy everything at once and put it in. So that being said, the engine's been done for like 2 years. I've been rotating it every once in a while. It still spins freely. Everything, the shop that did it right, used the right grease, everything. So I'm not concerned about the engine at all. So here I am, 6 years later. I already bought the GTE, so I'm not going to sell it and just do this one up. That's just not what I'm going to do. I have a TRD diff I'm putting in, just right there, and I have the Marlin Crawler built R154. So everything's going in. What about the 6-speed? Yes, I would love the V160, but there's a problem with the V160, and that's scarcity of parts. The V160 is arguably one of the strongest transmissions out there, along with the T56. But the issue comes with finding parts and getting it rebuilt. I have friends right now who their cars are down because they can't find parts for their V160. So that I didn't want to be that guy. So I went with the R154 for now. It's a tough tranny. It's Marlin Crawler built, so 600-700 horsepower on the street should be no problem. I'm going to attach all of this, put the diff in, the tranny and the engine's going to go in, and I'm going to have the right Supra, in my opinion. The only thing I'm going to change down the road is the transmission to a 6-speed. I just don't know which 6-speed I want to go with just yet. So, that being said, here I am 6 years later doing a GTE full-blown swap. The tranny has an OS Geiken twin disc. I got a hold of OS Geiken and they said it should be fine for 600, 650 wheel horsepower on the street. So I'm just going to leave the clutch the way it is. They said it has at least 75% life left, so I'm good there. But that's why I didn't just build the GE. Also, there's something about lifting the hood of a Supra and seeing the intake manifold go this way rather than this way. My opinion, the GE lacks in looks, whereas the GTE looks beautiful. The intake is facing the right way. Everything's linear this way. You have a big snail sitting over here. Whereas the GE, it's kind of like a big cluster of no one knows what the hell they're doing. You got the intake manifold going this way. I have piping everywhere. All the piping is coming to this one side of the engine from that side, from the intercooler. And yeah, it's a mess. I bought a while ago a rare Cusco strut bar. Not that I really care, but it just came up for sale and I bought it. And I wanted to put it on the car for the longest time. I had a TRD strut bar too. I actually ended up selling a TRD strut bar because it didn't fit on this car, thinking the Cusco would. And the Cusco still doesn't fit on this car because of the piping. So you can't even put a strut bar on it. And I don't know. It's just everything, like I said, is just in this one side of the engine. And it's just, yeah. So here I am. This is going to be my first episode on this car and the build. And I guess I'm just going to take the camera with me whenever we're in the garage, working on this thing, taking the engine out, putting the engine in. And yeah, I guess that's that. One thing that I would like to say is if you need anything NAT, don't be afraid to hit me up. I have the intercooler, I have the manifold, I have obviously the turbo, I have the Apex ESA FC2, which that's what it's been tuned on for the last 6 years. I also have the spacer for the manifold, if you can see it. Where are we here? So there is a spacer right there. You can see the manifold spacer right here to clear the Dizzy. So that's a rare piece. Most people just get the 4Runner Dizzy and call it a day, but I never had to because I had the spacer. So that's what's going on with this thing. I hope you guys follow the series, I guess. See what it kind of takes to take a Supra from, I guess, NAT status to GTE status, if you will. I figured out the ECU I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to go with the Link 4 G4. And injector dynamics, 1,000 to 1,300 cc injectors. And what else am I going to go with? Borg Warner S366 SXE billet wheel turbo, and a Walbro 450 to get everything started. So stay tuned, check out the build and the progress of everything, and as always, like and subscribe. All right, peace.